step into the arena, RCMP plus. It's not luck, it's logic. Bang, that's a power bomb move right there. Light it up, baby, cause woo, that's fantasy fireworks. Buckets, baby. Ain't no rivalry like an RCMP rivalry. From stats to smack talk, where trash talk meets true talk. It's not just fantasy, it's legacy.
Welcome back, Fantasy Faithful. This is RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops, and I am Tommy Douglas, ready to talk Week 5 matchups with my man, the architect of analysis, PG-13.
What up, TD? We've got 4 weeks in the books. The standings are getting tight, and the playoffs are seating up right before our eyes. Guardians and Notre Dame time are sitting pretty as conference leaders, but the whole league is separated by one game.
You know, PG, looking at the conference alignment, East and West, it made me think. We need to give these teams a home. A city that reflects their style, their swagger, or their chaos. We're giving all 12 of our teams an official Fantasy City assignment.
Let's start with the East, led by the Guardians at 3-1.
The Guardians. The Phoenix burned last year. On the rise this year. They've got a great balanced roster with Cade, Maxey, and Jalen Williams. I'm giving them Denver, rising altitude. Not necessarily the biggest market, but a consistent, high-performing winner that keeps surprising the establishment.
I like that. Next up is the two-time defending champion, the King Cobras, 3-1. The champs, built around Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell. They have to be Miami. They embody the heat, the championship swagger, the culture of winning, and they always seem to have a star on the way out or on the way in. They're the dynasty.
The Enigma. 2 balls, 1 hoop, 3-1. Racks up wins without trying. Giannis, Jaylen Brown, a killer roster. This is New York City. It's the biggest, most star-studded market. But they don't have to try hard to get wins because the roster is stacked. They're just sitting on pure, raw talent. Their $99 FAAB, untouched, backs that up.
The Padfoot Toes, 1-3. Our only female GM, and their roster is gritty with Curry, Sabonis, and Draymond. They have heart, but the record is lagging. I'm sending them to Street Lewis. A big sports city with huge history, a passionate fan base, but waiting for that big breakout moment to legitimize the NBA presence. They're built on that old school core and grit.
Dunkin' Donuts, 1-3. The rookie GM, expansion team, drafts for upside. Amen, Kel Ware. They're Seattle. They're the new highly anticipated expansion team, loaded with young potential and upside. The future is bright, but they're taking their lumps now as a rookie franchise.
Finally, Joka Thagoat, 1-3. Not very active. Jokic is his North Star. $100 FAAB. Anthony Davis, Siakam. They are San Juan, Puerto Rico, huge NBA passion, big stars, like AD. But the GM is disconnected, he's just on vacation. We know they have the money, $100 FAAB, and the roster, but he's not putting in the work.
Time to head west. The leader is the poacher. Notre Dame time, 3-1. The bargain shopper. They're San Antonio. They're quietly efficient, always finding value, a bargain shopper's dream, and they have a history of developing talent and being consistently great without all the flash.
The Pinguinis, 3-1. The deal makers. They've got Wemby, KD, and a Kawhi on the block. The roster is a work in progress, but they're winning. Toronto. They're a massive, global market, always in the conversation for big trades. The deal makers. And they have a global superstar in Wemby. They're a serious, sophisticated franchise.
The Power Bombers, 2-2. The Scout, numbers guy, regular season juggernaut. They're all about SGA, Giddey, and those young assets. Oklahoma City, built on scouting, efficiency, and hoarding draft assets. Young players like Ausar, Ace Bailey. They're all about the numbers and the long-term plan. Their low $42 FAAB shows they don't overpay.
The Alphas, 2-2. Old school crew, built like a super team. KAT, Booker, LaMelo. They're Los Angeles, Lakers style. They're the glamour team, built on star power and pedigree. They look good on paper. But the current 2-2 record shows they're just not quite living up to the hype right now.
The Z Tigers, 2-2. Youngest GM, huge swagger, young talent like Anthony Edwards and Cooper Flagg. This is Las Vegas. Young, flashy, massive swagger, and all the betting hype. Everyone's watching to see if this young squad delivers on the early promise.
And finally, the Ballers, 0-4. The Trash Talkers. Big heavy team, but everyone is always out. Jokic, LeBron, Zion on IR. They are Vancouver. They're a defunct, almost mythical franchise, all talk, all hype, but the actual on-court product is disappointing, and they're nowhere near a win. They're a ghost of a team.
Let's look at the schedule. We've got some absolute fire this week. King Cobras, 3-1. Versus 2 balls, 1 hoop, 3-1. The Miami Champs take on New York City's Enigma. An Eastern Conference clash between 2 3-1 teams. Can the Enigma's star power overcome the proven championship mentality of the Cobras? Power Bombers, 2-2 versus Alphas, 2-2. The OKC Scout battles the LA Glamour team. A West Conference matchup where both teams are desperately trying to get back over 500. This is all about analytics versus star power. Guardians, 3-1 versus Jokeethagoat, 1-3. Denver's consistent rise takes on the inactive San Juan. If Jokic GM actually sets his lineup, this is a dangerous team for the East leader. Padfoot Toes, 1-3 versus Dunkin' Donuts, 1-3. The Street Lewis Grit battles the Seattle rookie expansion team. The winner avoids the cellar in the East. I like the upside of the Donuts youth here. Z Tigers, 2-2 versus Pinguinis, 3-1. The Vegas Swagger faces the Toronto Dealmakers. A massive West Conference game for the Tigers to prove their hype is real against one of the league's most active managers. Ballers, 0-4 versus Notre Dame Time, 3-1. The winless Vancouver Trash Talkers desperately try to stop the San Antonio Poacher. If the Ballers don't get a win here, they might start liquidating assets.
Excellent breakdown, TD. Time to get a second opinion on these city assignments and matchups.
We are thrilled to welcome back the ladies of positivity and fantasy insights, Mel and Z from Court Queens. Welcome back.
Hi, guys. We loved the city assignment idea. It's so glamorous.
Seriously, TD, that was a look. We're here to grade your geography project.
Great. We need your take. Let's start with the East leader. The Guardians are Denver. Do you agree?
I love it. The Guardians are the Phoenix, and Denver is the perfect high-altitude city for a high rise. They're always working hard, and they don't get the Hollywood attention they deserve. Perfect fit.
I see it. But I would have made them Boston. That Boston area vibe is all about smart, focused success, built on an elite defender like Junior Jackson Jr. and a two-way star in Cade. A little more snark. A little less mountain air.
Z, you were critical of the Power Bombers last week for being too analytical. We gave them Oklahoma City.
Snaps her fingers. Obsessed. OKC is built on analytics, asset management, and the long-term scout mentality. It's perfect because it's efficient, but it's also a little boring. Just like the GM.
I completely agree. Z and their matchup against the Alphas, Los Angeles, is the best West Coast game. It's grind versus glamour. The $42 FAAB of the Power Bombers versus the $85 of the Alphas tells the story. One hoards assets, the other goes for the big swing.
Mel, let's talk about the winless teams. The Ballers, Vancouver, taking on Notre Dame Time, San Antonio. Can Vancouver finally get a W?
It is so tough for the Ballers. Vancouver is the perfect assignment because they're full of heart, the trash talkers, but they just don't have the health. It's a tragic story, not a fun one. They're facing the poacher who is clinical. I'm sorry to say, I think San Antonio gets the win here. We need some good karma for the Ballers.
And how about the rookie clash? Padfoot Toes, Street Lewis versus Dunkin' Donuts, Seattle.
This is the most emotional game of the week. The Padfoot Toes are built on conviction drafting by the way the name sounds. That's a huge attitude. They beat the rookie expansion team if Curry and Sabonis show up. Seattle has the upside. But the Street, Louis Grit is going to get that second win. Attitude always beats analytics, Tommy.
All right, final thoughts on the King Cobras versus 2 balls, 1 hoop showdown. Miami versus New York City East's biggest rivalry now.
I'm sticking with the vibe of 2 balls, 1 hoop. The Enigma's $99 FAAB is proof of concept. They don't need to overthink it. The players are just that good. They're the quiet winners in the biggest city. I think they take down the reigning champs.
Oh, I disagree. The King Cobras are Miami for a reason. They know how to flip the switch in a major rivalry game. They have the experience. The Enigma is about to get a painful reality check from the Champagne Dynasty. Miami wins, period.
Fantastic takes, ladies. The intensity is real heading into Week 5. Thank you both for joining us. Check out Court Queens.
We've got rivalry games, conference showdowns, and the winless fight for survival. This is going to be the best week yet, TD.
No doubt. Beiji.
And this has been RCMP plus Fantasy Hoops. Good luck to all the GMs this week, and we'll see you next time.